The material recovered from your computer and hard drives revealed for the first time something of your aberrant behaviour when you were teaching at St Mary's Primary School. There were 3 strands to that behaviour. Charge 1 relates to you creating indecent images. You had taken and manipulated 14 images of a young primary school pupil between February of 2015 and November of 2019, superimposing that child's face onto the face of an unknown female child being raped. The precise date when you filmed or photographed the pupil is not clear, but your obsession with her is all too clear. You manipulated the digital imagery further to add foul text, suggesting that you were in some way participating and involved in the activity. Charge 2 is a similar offence with the same pupil, introduced into a series of pornographic stills. These were created in 2018, after the young girl had left the school. You were still obsessing over her, it would seem. Charges 3, 6, 7 and 8 are similar offences relating to 2 further pupils. The second strand of your offending whilst at St Mary's relates to your installing cameras under the desks of some of the young girls who were pupils there. You tried, sometimes successfully, sometimes not, to capture images of their underwear. Charges 4, 5, 10, 11 and 12 relate to similar offences of what is now termed upskirting. The third strand of your offending whilst at St Mary's relates to your predilection for going into empty classrooms. Your offending has not been confined to the primary school and the nursery. Charge 17 relates to videos taken covertly by you of the same teenage girl, semi-naked in her bedroom. Charge 18 shows the same young girl with imagery manipulated once again to purportedly show her engaged in sexual activity. The metadata indicates that you created this footage in June of 2013. You appear to have developed something of an obsession with this young girl, as police found some 2,000 images of her, not all indecent, but ones taken by you, suggesting that obsession. There were, in addition, some 50 videos covertly recorded by you of her when she was in her bedroom or in her garden. Charge 19 is rather different and relates to your sexual assault of an adult. Police found video and still images showing you sexually assaulting a woman who was known to you. Offences of voyeurism, that is to say, watching a private act in order to gain sexual satisfaction. 7 of those offences were committed by you in your own home. These are charges 20 through to 26. You had set up a camera in the bathroom and bedroom in your home. You recorded 3 women using the lavatory. You, Mr. Chan, had committed a large number of serious and troubling sexual offences between 2011 and 2017, but these were non-contact offences. You had limited yourself to looking and watching and recording, but you had not touched your victims with that one significant exception. That all changed in 2017 when you left the primary school and took up your position at the nursery. Your offending escalated and became far more serious. Counts 1 through to 20 reflect that offending. These offences carry with them a maximum sentence of life imprisonment. These are counts 3, 5, 7, 9 and 10. I will treat these as the lead offences, and I will pass sentences upon them that reflect all of the offending for which I have to sentence you today.
All of us here and people across our country will wish to join with me in expressing our horror at hearing of these appalling crimes. A 45-year-old British man, Vincent Chan, pleaded guilty to 26 offences. These include multiple counts of sexual assault on a child by penetration, assault of a child by touching, and taking and making indecent photographs of a child, including Category A images depicting the most serious abuse. He was employed by a nursery setting in Camden between June 2017 and May 2024. On the 8th of September 2025, he was arrested after evidence was uncovered on devices seized in a previous police investigation. He was then charged with the 26 offences in question on the 9th of September. Madam Deputy Speaker, yesterday Vincent Chan entered a plea of guilty and sentencing will take place on the 23rd of January. In the meantime, the Metropolitan Police have met families of all of the children they have identified as victims of contact offences. In addition, the Met have written to the other families whose children attended the setting in question while the individual worked there to reassure them that where there is evidence of offences, the affected families have been contacted. Local children's social care services are providing emotional and practical support to families and signposting them to specialist support services. Madam Deputy Speaker, the NSPCC have been commissioned to set up a bespoke helpline as the first point of contact for anyone affected by these horrific acts. Details of the helpline can be found in the communications from Camden Council and the Metropolitan Police. Specialist support is available for victims. From the dedicated NSPCC helpline, people affected can be supported directly or referred to the right source of support to meet their needs. And the Government has provided funding to ensure there is sufficient capacity to support families. Following a notification of a serious incident, the Police, Integrated Care Board and the local authority have completed a rapid review to establish the facts. That means setting out a clear timeline of the events leading up to the incidents, of the incidents themselves, of the roles played by different agencies, and the safety of children at the nursery at each stage. Those initial findings are now being worked through quickly, but I can confirm to the House that the rapid review has concluded that a full local child safeguarding practice review is warranted, which is being set up immediately. I am clear that this wider review must shine the strongest possible light on these horrifying incidents, and that we learn every lesson we can to make sure that crimes like this are guarded against at every step and every stage. And Madam Deputy Speaker, it is critical that local safeguarding partners can continue their investigations. But I will work closely with them, with the Child Safeguarding Practice Review Panel, with its chair, Sir David Holmes, and with Home Office colleagues, to make absolutely sure that we have in place the most robust safeguards possible. We must do everything in our power to protect children. On that, I take my responsibilities as Secretary of State, not simply for education, but for children, with the utmost seriousness. But preventing cases such as these, Madam Deputy Speaker, needs everyone to believe and act on the fundamental principle that safeguarding is everyone's business. It is the duty of all of us, right across our society. If we see abuse, to report it. If we see or hear something that feels wrong, to question it and to challenge it. Madam Deputy Speaker, all of us owe that to our children, to do the right thing. Keeping children safe is one of the most important duties of any society. And I would like to thank our early years staff and wider children's services workforce, those who work so hard day in, day out, to give children of this country the best start in life. I know all committed early years and children's services professionals will be just as horrified as we all are to hear about what has taken place, just as distressed to think that something like this could happen in a place that should have been dedicated to keeping children safe and helping them thrive. The defendant has now pleaded guilty to these sickening crimes and will be sentenced. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, my thoughts this afternoon are not on him. They are with all of the child victims of these vile and abhorrent crimes,